This is the Tropic Families Gamers podcast, episode 86, Friendships Round a Campfire. Today I'm welcoming my special guest, Kathy. Kathy, would you like to introduce yourself properly?
Thank you, Jen. Yes, I'm Kathy Sanderson, and together with my husband David, we live on top of a mountain in southwest Wales where we put on our community gatherings. This is a place where everybody comes to feel seen and heard and become part of something. Life is very lonely, and we provide an antidote to that.
Amazing. So yeah, it's around the campfire, which is not what I'm expecting to hear from connection point of view. So that's a different angle. But how did you get there? What's your background?
I'm an inner child healer and an energy healer. And we bought this place 5 years ago, just after lockdown. And in lockdown in Wales, there was no stamp duty freeze, but in England there was. We sold just on the end of that. So we had to be out of our house, and this sale wasn't going through. So we went and stayed in the campsite somewhere in Kent. And the only place we could go was this caravan park. And we couldn't take our dog, so the dog had to go and stay with someone because I booked the wrong caravan. And it was so lonely. I grew up in a big Irish immigrant family. I was used to having people around me. And lockdown was really lonely time for so many people. And while we was at the camp thing, even though lockdown had finished, because it was summer 21, there was still that 2 meter thing that was just subconsciously being done. So people were playing mini golf as a family, but no one was talking. No one was talking when we went for meals. The only people who were talking was the kids down for the kids club at the front type thing. And it was really a really heavy, depressing atmosphere. And the minute that my we found out that the sale had actually gone through and we could go back home and move in, I had this voice in my head say, What about if we could just all come together and hug? Because that's what was really missing over those 2 years. So we just bought 25 acres. There was two fields that were sheep fields because the lady we bought from had a pet farm. She was vegetarian, but she had a pet farm. And I said to my husband, can we do it? And beginning of August, we moved in. I gave him 7 weeks to get these fields ready to camp on, to wild camp on. And he built compost toilets and he made it and he made campfire, a really big campfire for everyone to sit round. And I got in touch because you never guess I'm from Birmingham. Got in touch with my friends from Birmingham who'd run workshops before, said, do you want to come and do some workshops? And we was all desperate because all the festivals, everything had been shut down. So people were desperate to do something. And 46 people I'd never met off Facebook, because that's all I advertised it on was Facebook, came down our track. And we had the most amazing weekend. Kids were free. Kids are always free, 16 and under, because my kids, one of them is 16 and she's still not earning money. So that would mean that I'd have to find three lots of more money to come to something like this, to be
Hmm.
around people, to have friendships and friendship networks and be in a safe environment. So they're like, yeah, you need to keep doing this. You need to keep doing this. You need to keep doing this. And we grew very big because there was nothing going on.
Hmm.
And we were putting three workshops on at a time. I was walking around. So this is someone who everyone knows because they've all booked with me. And I wasn't even getting to talk to people. My best friend appeared, and all I remember is her coming out of her tent and her two boys and saying hello, I never even got to talk to her. So I didn't know by that point. Obviously, I didn't ignore my best friend. So it got too big and we scaled it right back. And what we're all about now is community. So everyone who comes gets to know everybody. Everybody feels seen and heard, that they have a part to play, that they are part of a community. So it's not about camping. Camping is the vehicle that allows this to happen. So we
Okay.
we give them camping additionally. so that they
Yeah.
can all come together. And camper vans, we don't charge extra for camper vans. We allow well-behaved dogs to come. We try and make it as accessible as possible.
Okay, so you talk about community. How did you create a community out of that? How did you build it?
Facebook.
Just Facebook?
Facebook. Everything I do comes from Facebook. I'm not
Amazing.
one of these people. I do have a website, so people like can go and look at my website. And I have people coming to me now from TikTok, which is quite good. And some people do find me from the SEO, from Google and things, but everything is Facebook. So everything I do is community. We do have to charge because if we didn't charge, I'd have to go and work another job and I wouldn't be able to do what I do, to manage our
Yeah,
land, to do the bookings and those things. But we are very affordable. We're £150 for a weekend per adult, including your tent space, including your parking, including all activities and workshops. So if you're a single parent, you could come for £150 with your children, even if you've got 10 children, and all it would cost you is £150. You don't have to worry about entertaining the children because our acres are enclosed. So they can just go off and explore like kids used to do.
Hmm.
And then make new friends. And we have activities and workshops for them. But it means that the parents can relax because that's what parents don't seem to be able to do anymore. And kids don't seem to be able to go off and play by themselves. They
Yeah,
always need parents' attention. So they come, they make friends, they meet other parents, they meet people who are going through the same experiences as them, or they can support people. But they leave with a social network. I love watching people on Facebook. I'm a Facebook mum, I admit it. And I see how they're all going out and seeing each other, or they're going on holidays together, or they're going and meeting up. And that's what
yeah,
it's all about. We're like a vehicle for people to come together because life without friends is very, very lonely.
yeah. I agree. I'm used to traditional networking where you go to a networking event, you do your pitch and you chat, and that's how I've made my network of friends. But it's nice to know there's other ways out there. Um, how did you get off the Facebook in the first place? How did you start finding your way on Facebook?
So because I was an inner child healer, I started to put myself out on Facebook about that. So I had this right kind of people on there who were interested,
Hmm.
but I certainly didn't have the followers that I have now. Um, and through Mums in Business, the networking group, I grew my network and everything so much more. So I was able to reach much more people. But it is just about talking about who you are, what you do, and that know, like, and trust factor. So I have people arrive and I wouldn't recognize them because they all use filters on their Facebook
Yeah.
posts and things. And like they come and I'm like, that doesn't look like the person I've been chatting with on Messenger, you know. I am so genuine. I will never use a filter. I don't wear makeup only because I just can't be bothered. I don't feel like I need it.
Same.
It's the thing, you know, I used to be a Clinique girl. I used to, and now when children, and I just don't need it. And I'm very blessed. I've got really good skin. My products help my skin. I I talk about what we do, and I created it for me. I don't like going to festivals. I went to one festival, absolutely hated it. Again, thought it was me. Everyone else loves all these festivals. But there are so many people who can't go to a festival because they get overwhelmed. My
Yeah,
children can't go to these festivals because they get overwhelmed and they're noisy and they're loud. Um, so I've created a place where I feel safe. I had somebody comment on one of my posts recently, and they're like, £150 to go camping. I can go and camp on the beach for free. Everyone come and do it with me for free. Like, okay, because someone's maintaining that beach. You're going to go on that beach, but when you camp, how are you going to know you're safe? You're
Hmm.
going to be, some people, maybe you not, the one who made the comment, but other people are going to be listening for every noise, everything. They're not going to be safe. It's a public place, isn't it? Like the same as going in your camper van and being on the side of a road. Some people are absolutely fine with that. Other people buy camper vans and they sit on their driveway because they just don't know where to go.
Yeah.
So I've created this place where people come to feel safe, to feel part of something, to make friends with people who are all like-minded, and then life just gets better.
That's quite amazing. I love that. Yeah, so it's all about belonging and being in a community where everyone sort of supports each other, and that's a
Yeah.
wonderful thing to have, especially on your doorstep. As far as festivals go, I tend to go to the quieter ones or the ones where I'm likely to know a lot of people, so I feel safer there. I've just been to three by the time this episode comes out, so yeah, I don't go to the big festivals like Download Festival and whatever. Don't even go to the conventions, the gaming conventions, because a lot of my gaming friends do that, but I find them too loud and noisy, as you say, so yeah, I can relate to that. But there are quieter places out there where you can have festival vibes anyway. I can imagine wearing braids and hippie hats at your fields and stuff, so yeah.
You don't need to have hippie, you don't have to need to have hippie hats or anything. Everybody is welcome. So yeah, I wear flowy dresses. Some people come in leggings. I just
That'd
like
be
to
me.
swish about, as piratey as possible or as wenchy as possible. But everybody is accepted. And the thing with festivals, if you go and you don't know somebody, I went to one of those big festivals you were talking about, and I went with my friend, and that's the one where we had our stuff stolen. So maybe I had a bad experience. But if no one else talks to you, everyone's in their own little world. And if you go there and you're not very socially butterfly and talk to people, it can be a really lonely weekend despite everything going on. Whereas everyone who comes will know everybody by the end of that weekend. It's set up so everybody gets to know each other and not in an awkward, difficult way either. What we do, we're really very good at doing because we've honed it over these 5 years. When we first started, we didn't have a clue what we were doing. Throw in at the deep end, listen to that voice in my head. And we've had to learn so much so quickly and quickly see what works, what doesn't work, where people might feel unsafe, how we can make people feel safer, all of those types of things. And I think, especially if you've got children who are neurodiverse or you are neurodiverse,
Yeah.
like a single parent could go to a camping site. They don't know what camping site they're going to is going to be like. They don't know who else is going to be there. They don't know if they're going to be camped next to a very noisy family who's up all night drinking, singing around a campfire, and then the kids are kicking against the balls against their tents. They're not listening to them. Something that they've saved up to go to suddenly becomes a horror thing and they have to go home.
Hmm.
That would never happen at our camps. In August, we do a crazy, crazy thing. We open up our camp field for 6 days, 5 nights for just £260 per adult. So all activities, all workshops, family fun day, Reiki share, sound baths, morning yoga, all activities for children. And in the summer holidays, you could take your kid away with your tent for £260 and not have to think about entertaining them for a whole week.
That's a pretty good deal.
It is a pretty good deal. And also know that you're not going to end up at a campsite that's going to be full of all those people I've just described, ruining your holiday, being horrible to your children. I mean, I'm in a few camping groups and I read this, and I'm like, this is why we are so particular about what we put on.
Yeah. So, with regards to the actual campfire, how does that play a part in your community?
So at the end of the day, so on Friday, at the end of the day, we put the campfire on, we go and sit round it. We'll have some music, there'll be some drumming, there'll be loads of talking. It's a big campfire right at the top of our hill kind of thing. Um, and the kids can go off and play, or the kids can come round and sit there and we'll make s'mores and things. And it's just a really nice, gentle way to get to know people.
Hmm.
And that's how those connections and those friendships form.
Yeah. So, campfire friendships, amazing. Sounds like I have to check that out at some point.
You'll be
So
very
yeah,
welcome.
if people are interested in what you provide, how can they find you?
They can find us at communitygatherings.uk.
And any social media tags?
Um, Find me, Kathy Sanderson, on Facebook.
Of course, Facebook, yes.
But
All
I am
right.
on TikTok, so community gatherings, um, on TikTok, you'll find me, and I'm on Instagram as well. Community gatherings.
Okay. Well, thanks for being my guest today. I hope you enjoyed our discussion,
It's been lovely, thank you, Jen.
and all the best with your camping community.
Thank you very much. We look forward to welcoming you, Jen.